then I'm waiting.
All right, I'm live.
I'm
waiting.
I'm live.
All right, now let me switch.
It's up and coming, bruh. I'm literally right here. What do you mean up and coming? What do you mean?
It says I'm waiting.
Episode 3.
Let me put
We're on episode 2. Who put episode 3?
You, Venom.
Bruh. Hang on, technical difficulties. Technical.
Top 10 biggest fails, number 1.
Oh no, not 3. It's number 2.
Can't you just edit the thing?
Yeah, we're good now. All right, we're good. Crisis averted. Top 10 anime fails. Yo, what is that? Rafid asks. Okay, we're live now. Welcome back, everybody, to Nitro7 podcast. We're joined by Sniper Dashy, Just Matt, Reagan and Bush, 1984, the Gaming Foxy, and Off Comet. Unfortunately, Darth has to be absent because
Doesn't has to be, he just hates us.
Did he drink a little too much last night, Dashy? Is that why he's absent?
Oh, I have no idea.
Something
Probably.
like that. Something
It's
like
a safe
that.
guess.
2 is not even close to a 3-shot Rafid. Alright, so, you guys are all allowed to talk whenever you want, so...
Well, what are we
start
supposed
off.
to talk about?
What do you guys want to start off first with? What makes a supercar, or electric vehicles, or just something else random?
Electric cars. Let's start off with
Alright,
some
let's start off with
bad subjects.
the bad subjects. Okay, I'll just say the first thing. What are your thoughts on electric cars, everybody?
Okay, I'll go
Bad.
first. So, personally, I don't think they're bad. It just depends on how you look at them. Because if you look at them in terms of, like, quote-unquote saving the environment, then they're bad because they don't really work for that. But if you're looking at them at just daily driving, then I guess they're okay because you don't really have to pay as much for gas. But you also get, like, a pretty normal car. It's just the only issue with electric cars is when people start to think that they save the environment because they really don't. They do less damage short term, but more long term.
I feel like also if you're getting an electric car as a daily driver, there's just not really any good cheap options right now.
I mean, there's a
Yeah,
Model
but-
3. There's a Model 3.
Well, yeah, but
The
Model
Model
3 's not
3 is
good.
like 45K now, a base one.
But, like, that's not that far
Not too
over.
bad right now.
Yeah, like, you look at the
have the
average
Nissan.
car.
Yeah, you have the Nissan Leaf.
Right.
Well,
The
don't-
Nissan Leaf is
Alright.
ugly.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, let's be honest. Who here would actually want to drive a Nissan Leaf?
Crash into an Ultima,
Or
sure.
the i3.
Okay,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
i3 is just
It's like a smushed i8.
yeah, which the IR looks kind of terrible. My thoughts on the electric cars are like they're overrated, and more people, I think, at least where I'm from, buy them to look rich than to like because they care about the environment or the gas money. But in the end, they kind of just look dumb because like they're trying to flex your base Model 3. Like, okay, like it's a base
Yeah.
Model 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if it's a Model S Plaid or like a Taycan Turbo S, I can understand that because those are expensive. But
Okay,
Right.
but do you have people at your school who like praise Tesla?
There's a
and
kid at
if
my school-
someone's dad owns a Tesla, they
There's-
think it's like
Yeah.
The-
Yeah, there's a
biggest
kid at my
thing
school who
ever.
drives his Model X there.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like
Who
wrapped
gave a
in this
kid a
color
Model
shifting
X?
blue, and it like looks like crap. Yurbo, I believe you had some interesting insights for electric vehicles. So let's hear those.
Oh, I said they're trash. And
Yeah.
they, yeah, what about water? Come on now. You're like a toaster.
What
in a
about
bath.
water?
water.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, hydrogen
theoretically-
powered cars are like a lot better for the environment. It's just the problem is with a hydrogen powered car is A, there's no infrastructure.
Yeah.
And B, I think there's only 2 or 1 hydrogen car that you can actually buy.
Yeah.
I want to know what happened to the guy that made the water power car.
What happened.
He like disappeared 2 days later.
Why?
Oh,
Are you-
big
are you-
oil?
Are you
Big
trying?
oil? What?
Are you trying to tell a joke, or are you trying to tell a conspiracy theory?
No, I'm serious.
No, he's actually dead serious.
The guy disappeared 2 days after making his hydrogen car.
Yeah.
Well,
Literally
maybe
2 days after, he just hasn't posted anything.
he sold enough, and now he's on vacation in Cancun or whatever. I'm sure. He's
Oh yeah,
having a good
he's
time.
probably 6 feet under, probably.
6
taking
feet
a
under the
vacation.
ocean, scuba diving, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Cancun on his beach
But anyway,
vacation.
back to the electric point. So
Oh yeah, it's true.
theoretically, right? So you know how people like some idiots like drive into water on accident and like like into a lake.
Yeah.
What if you in an electric car drive into said lake? Goodbye, back to the lobby.
Okay, but like,
Back
what if
to
you
the
do
lobby.
it like, what if you do it like on a beach where there's a bunch of people? Do they all just die?
Is my mic up?
Exactly,
so-
everybody would get
I
electric.
mean, I've
Would you
seen-
though?
I don't know, 'cause, like, I've seen
I'll resort
videos
to
of like,
Google.
yeah, I've
Just
seen
don't-
videos
just
of
don't
like
touch
people
my
in Teslas.
Wait, so if you drive
like-
into the water, you get electrocuted?
Well, I've seen people in Teslas go to like door deep in water, and
Is it
they
like a
were,
toaster thing? Yeah. So you've seen him go door deep, Foxy? Like on YouTube and stuff? I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel
but
like
that-
that's an interesting point. I honestly never thought about that. But you would
Okay.
think they would have
Okay.
some stuff to address that so you
Door
wouldn't get
deep.
electrocuted.
Door deep just sounds wrong.
I wasn't going to point that out, comment, but yeah, I agree.
Knee deep in crotch water.
Oh my god.
Sure. This is why, Foxy, you don't stream this to your channel.
Yeah, no, this is why I'm streaming it to Nitro7 and not
Which,
to
by
my
the way,
channel.
everybody, subscribe to Nitro7. I need to drop the link in stream chat, but join the Discord, bruh. Or just be cool also and get us to... Oh, we're at 21 subs. Our channel can legally drink.
Let's go.
Our channel can legally drink. I think that's how it works. Nah.
Huh?
Yeah,
I
so
can
sub
drink now.
and stuff like that. So electric cars, what do you guys think? Do you think they'll catch on anytime soon? At all?
I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna
Yes,
die.
because people are stupid.
Yeah.
Here, they've definitely caught on.
But like, are they? Because like all the media is like, oh, these are the cars of the future. I don't see how. Like, you have cars that like sometimes the batteries are like on a base Model 3, right? I've seen stuff where like you get the car, you have it a couple of years, and if you're one of the unfortunate ones, your battery like blows up, right? And that
That's what happened to
basically
my friends.
that'll total out the car or nearly total it out because a new battery is like almost 30 grand if I remember right. So
Oh my.
That's like the price of the car.
yeah, like so on a Model 3 that totals out the car effectively. Especially if
Yeah,
it's an
especially-
older one.
Yeah.
After it's
my,
appreciated.
My friend bought I think it was like a 2019 base Model 3, and he was on a road trip, and while they were on the highway, they had a bunch of like stuff plugged in, and the battery literally just blew up on the highway, and they had to wait 7 months to get a new battery.
Yeah,
Wow.
because Tesla supports trash too. Like that's what I've heard. And then also your good ASMR. Your Tesla can only be fixed by like certified Tesla people. No, you're good. You're good. I think it's funny.
Yeah,
But
it's
your
like,
Tesla has to be certified. It has to be repaired by certified Tesla people. Like you can't just go to any mechanic and have them fix your stupid electric vehicle.
like it's like the newer Apple devices, how they're like you can only get them fixed at Apple.
Hey,
like
don't
with
you
the
go
Tesla.
dissing my iPhone, Foxy.
I have 3 iPhones. So what do you
Shut up,
mean?
Mom. I'm busy.
Big money balling. Calm down.
Lady?
I'm trying to record something. Please go. It's live. Get out.
I poison.
Also, you guys mind if you guys catch me up on what Nitro7 is? Okay, yeah, we didn't even mention that. Nitro7 is a channel where we do stuff. I don't know, 7 of
We
us.
just sit here and then talk about boring things,
This isn't for
Oh,
my
hostage.
YouTube channel, so can you not?
and then you're supposed to watch it.
Yeah, someone in the what's it called? In the Nitro7 stream chat pointed out something really good where they said the US infrastructure can't support electric cars, which they're not wrong.
And that is so
'cause,
true.
like if you think about it, you're going to need if everyone in the US that could that has a gas car now got an electric car, you would need so many power stations and
Yeah.
draw so much power. Like, where are you gonna get all that power from? Because it's not like we've gotten the technology where we can like freaking
Yeah.
harvest energy from the sun or something.
Solar power.
Yeah, it's not like
Solar
solar
power?
panels exist.
Well, no,
Lexi,
but,
I
like,
really hope that was sarcasm because you do
Yeah,
know
it
solar
was.
panels exist. We live in Arizona. Everybody has solar panels here.
I don't
But,
have
here's
solar
the thing.
panels.
A
I don't
solar
either.
panel, like, okay, so number one, solar panels, they're really expensive, and number two, you need some big ass solar panels to get power a bunch of electric cars, like to charge them.
Yeah, alright. Have you guys seen like on that topic, like the people like saying we need to like put a solar panel farm in like the Sahara Desert?
I
That
mean,
could power
no,
it. That would be
it
so
would be.
but
Well, it
imagine
would be
getting that
good, but-
electricity from the Sahara to America. No, yeah, like
Yeah, also,
the whole we need all electric cars. Yeah, you're totally right. Like what are they going to do? Like they'd have to build tons of like nuclear power plants or massive solar panel farms, or they could just do like, yeah, I don't even know, because like it has to be cleaner energy, you know, it can't come from
that's why they
oil, otherwise
say-
it's pointless.
yeah, that's when they say like electric cars are the way of the future. I don't think they are, but I think hybrids are.
We should
Hybrid
just
or
put-
hydrogen?
Yeah, hydrogen for sure, because you can like you
Not
can
water.
actually like get the stuff
Shut
for
up.
it. It's just kind of weird because like it's not like there's just gonna be some random hydrogen pump in like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's the problem right now.
Okay.
Like, did you see? Go ahead, come on.
But we should like just put a bunch of solar panels like just out in Arizona, like off the highway, because there's nothing to look at.
Homie, there are. Have you not driven around Arizona?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them everywhere.
Yeah, what are you talking about? There's like I've driven by like whole solar panel like farms where there's thousands of them. Comment. Sometimes I wonder what Arizona you live in.
I live in not the Arizona you live in. I live in Arizona too.
Poor person,
Wow.
Tom. No, I'm
That's
just kidding.
crazy. I need your guys' opinion. Can you all watch this video and just give me an opinion?
What's the video?
What's the video on?
Just,
Okay.
just take a gander at it.
Oh
Okay.
I'll
god.
watch on my phone. Is it
That's
safe
a-
to watch on stream?
Yes,
God.
indeed.
Is it
Oh,
safe?
are you sure?
Yeah, I'm not watching it. I see political stuff. I'm not watching that. Yeah, no. So
Yeah,
like-
no, I'm not watching that.
electric.
I've seen that video, but yeah, no, I'm not watching that.
But yeah, I feel like electric vehicles just can't be the future right now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like once
That's
oil's
great.
gone and like the oil economy is like just absolutely destroyed and everything, I feel like water is gonna be it. That's my prophecy.
You mean hydrogen?
Hydrogen
water.
cars are okay,
Water.
but just no one like literally the only
We
one
make
that
a
I
water
know of
powered car.
that
Speaking of water,
currently
why
is-
will it never stop raining in DE? I swear to God, this has been the 5th time I've had it stop raining in the past 10 minutes. Sorry to interrupt.
Isn't
Punks,
that like
go
the
on.
second?
I mean, so here's the thing. It's like hydrogen cars. I kind of like the idea of it because it's it's clean energy. You don't have to worry about recycling all the batteries, which are pretty much impossible to recycle because lithium ion. But the thing is with the hydrogen car is the only company I know that makes one is Toyota, and it's like their worst selling car, and it's expensive as hell.
Right. Well, here,
Like
like
the-
their hydrogen car, MSRP is. There's also one by Hyundai apparently, but the Mirai is 50 grand. So I mean that's not terrible.
Yeah, but like considering how like you can get like an electric car in the 30s, it's not great.
Yeah.
Now, let me see. Would this work? I need to plug in my mouse. It's blinking red at me.
Nice.
Hold on, let me grab my charger. Be right back. Stu.
How long until I can get a water-powered yacht?
What's our opinions on the new Supra?
Wait,
The new
Really
Supra. Are we
water-powered
gonna?
boat.
All right. Are we gonna wrap up Teslas and then let's go to the new Supra? Why not? And then let's talk about the C8, which is my
we need to talk about water powered boats.
water-powered.
You want to talk about the car that slept with Ferraris?
Yes, yes, 'cause
Corvette,
it's
you
gonna
know,
be
all of the
fun.
above?
But let's talk about the Supra first. I have some things I want to talk about the C8. Yeah, but also for hydrogen, yeah, like James May bought the hydrogen car, the Mirai or whatever it's called, and there's like one hydrogen station near him. It's like a problem. Anyways, yeah, so electric vehicles, my final thoughts are I just don't see how they can work out, especially not now with the oil industry obviously still being big. Most cars obviously taking gas. And then there's the problem of like used electric vehicles kind of suck. Like you look at the old Tesla Roadsters, they're so outdated. Like and they don't work that great anymore. And they're still super expensive. Whereas like you look at like you can get an old gas powered car that's gonna last for a long time for like $5,000, but there's just no electric version of that like an average person or like a student could afford easily. So that's why I don't think electric cars will catch on for a long while, if not ever.
I'm kind of sort of looking forward for Dodge's E-Muscle, the
That's
Challenger.
gonna be interesting. Yeah, I'm curious to see how that
Mo-
goes.
mo- Mainly because of the last year of the actual like gas-powered Challengers and Chargers. I guess they're gonna do like a big hurrah with like the last thing. I guess it's gonna have like 909 horsepower.
Oh yeah. Okay,
So I've heard.
I'm kind of tired of seeing all the Dodge. Like Dodge is becoming the new Bugatti with like all the different variants. Like it's hard to
I
keep
know.
them straight.
Dodge is
You
just
don't
good.
need this,
Yeah.
especially because there's 3 different variants that are all within like 20 horsepower of each other.
Yeah.
It's like the Hellcat, the Red Eye, the
The Red Eye, the
Demon,
Super Stock, and
regular
the
one.
Jailbreak.
Yeah.
As I'm pretty sure they're all within like 30 horsepower
Yeah.
of each other.
They're all Challengers. They're just different
Look.
models of the
Or
Challenger.
Chargers, yeah.
The
Well-
Chargers are cancer. Chargers should never exist. Only the older ones.
Okay, this is my honest thoughts. Is like the Challenger looks better, yeah, but like the Charger wide body is cool in the sense that like a Hellcat Charger wide body, it would be cool in the sense like it could hold a family, but it's still really fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Together.
like the way I view it is like
The
an
Red Eye
American
717.
BMW M5 or
Oh,
something.
the Red Eye is less than I thought, but the Super Stock and the Jailbreak both
Thank
have
you.
807.
We only see the use of electric cars for when some sort of outbreak happens. Burr. Make a movie. I don't know about the movie idea. That would be a interesting one. Oh yeah, we forgot to say everybody sub to the channel because when we hit 100,000, not this channel, but the channel linked in description. Because when we hit 100,000 subs, we're moving to the Los Angeles Walmart and living in a shed for a month. But
You're
anyways,
probably gonna get stabbed by some druggie with needles.
okay. Mark 5 Supra. Whoever brought it up, take it away because I'm guessing you have some opinions. So let's hear yours first.
I personally think it's kind of dumb. They should have killed the Supra off. I think it's an overrated car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that your opinion? Okay. Anybody else want to go, or do you want me to go?
Yes, I want to.
Go ahead, comment.
Don't buy one, and it's ugly.
Basic
Okay.
sales pitch.
Okay, here's my thoughts on it. I like that they brought back the manual at least, because when it first came out with no manual, that was just really lame. It genuinely would have been better if they had just used the 2JZ again in it. That's what's so funny. Like they should have just taken the Mark IV engine and like made it maybe like added bigger turbos and then resold it. More people would have liked it. But I think at the end of the day, it doesn't look awful. It's definitely grown on me. I think it looks kind of bad stock with like a body kit and a bigger wing. It's okay.
It's
And
just
then
overrated.
I think
Just the Supra name itself is overrated.
I think it's overrated, and I think it's just an over glorified BMW. Like at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's like it's off like what the Z4? Yeah, it's literally just a
Yeah.
Z4. Isn't it like more expensive though? It's like a Z4 with a markup.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. That's my thoughts. Anybody else have anything to add?
Bro, I can't find my mouse charger.
I love that topic for the Supra. Should we swap over to the C8? And this is where I think we should get into our next segment of
God.
what makes a supercar. Comment's dreading this because I have a lot of opinions on the C8. Do you guys want to do that, or do you want to keep going on the Mark V?
Well, I have a lot of
You go
horrible
on with
things
the
to say
C8.
about the C8.
All right, good. All right, I'll start with the C8 and kind of my opinions on it. I think so. I'm gonna kind of bring up two topics in one here. Starting off with like people are calling the C8 a great supercar. The C8 is not a supercar. And this is where I bring up my two things. Like, what makes a supercar? In my opinion, it needs to be exotic, which the C8 is not really exotic. It needs to be
Sport
rare.
car.
The C8 is not rare. And
At all, no.
yeah, it's not rare. And what was the third one I had? I'm blanking out here. Huh?
It's gotta be.
Performance. Blah. Why am I an idiot?
It's not
it's-
made by Chevy.
It's got the performance, It does have performance. I'll give it that, but it's not an exotic car and it's not rare. Like, you know, because like an exotic car doesn't have to be a rare car, or a rare car doesn't have to be exotic. But you know, it needs to be all three of those things, in my opinion, to be a supercar. And so you see a normal C8. Like for me, if I drive around my town for 5 minutes, I'll see at least 3, right? So it's definitely not rare. It has performance. But this is where it gets interesting. I do not think the C8 Z06 is a supercar either. It's got performance. It's a bit more. It's got the exoticness with the Chinese Ferrari flat plane, whatever, and V8 engine. But it's still not rare. Like there's no sales cap or anything. There's gonna be a million of those. And then also you got the fact that like the C8, it's trying so hard to be a Ferrari. It's trying so hard. You got the Z06, it literally just has a stolen Ferrari engine essentially.
It's like Lana Rhodes' baby. You don't know who the father is.
Boy, so that's like my brief thoughts on the C8. Let's have some more people give their takes.
Okay,
So for me,
Wait.
okay, who's gonna go?
My turns. Oh, my
Okay,
turn?
so
All right.
basically, for me,
You're
the
not-
C8, it has the
you're not
performance
Euro.
of a supercar, but for it to be a supercar, like Venom said, it has to be exotic and it has to be somewhat rare. So, like, basically, for example, let's see, like, the Gallardo. Here, let me actually get a more common one.
I'm turning
Here,
my
like, for
audio
example,
off.
the M... Oh, never mind. It's not spawning in. Okay. Okay, right here. So, is it going
I'll
to...
watch your demonstration.
So, my spawning is currently just destroyed.
Well, here's a
I-
Gallardo. Stand by the
Just use mine.
performance edge.
Just-
Yeah, it's right here. Here's a Gallardo. The Gallardo's literally right here.
Okay, that's fine. So, we'll use... Who has their car on?
Okay, I think you're lagging hard. because
Yeah,
I
bro,
just
you're
shot
lagging
you.
hard.
Yeah.
Oh, God. What is my
dying.
ping?
All right, well, go ahead
Okay.
and talk us your way through the demonstration. Or actually, just comment. You go ahead, and then while Foxy figures it out.
Okay.
I'll just leave
But-
and rejoin.
The thing is with the C8 Z06, it's got the performance to be a supercar. But the thing is, with it being rare, I don't really see why that matters a lot. Just because you say like Huracans are rare, but you still consider a Huracan to be a supercar.
But the Huracan, I said for different classes. I would count. Okay, this is what I said. If there's like 5 different types of C8s, I would kind of count that as its own car, just like a Bugatti Chiron. Like a pure sport's kind of different. Same with like you compare a base Huracan and a Huracan STO. They're off the same platform, but they are extremely different. And so the C8 Z06, there's gonna be like they'll sell like over 50,000. I don't know how many C7s were sold. It's gonna be a ton, and they're all gonna be the same car. There's not gonna be any difference between them unless you modify it, and so that's why I don't think it counts for rarity. And I think rarity is important for a supercar because you don't. It's a supercar. It's supposed to be something special. You know what I mean? Like there's so many because if it wasn't, then you could go ahead and argue like your built Honda Civic that makes 900 horsepower is a supercar. You know what I mean? Because it's got supercar performance in a straight line when it's not really a supercar. Anyways,
I just think it's ugly.
it is.
It's just ugly. It's just plain ugly.
It is
They-
very
they
ugly.
ruined- They ruined the legacy of the Corvettes. The Corvettes were always front engine.
Yeah.
We need
Nah,
keep it in the front.
But now they finally produced a
Mm-hmm.
mid-engine Corvette, which they've been trying to do for decades, and they were never able to accomplish. They
Wasn't-
finally produced one now.
Wasn't the first
good
Corvette
reason.
supposed to be mid-engine?
Yeah, it was.
That's what I thought.
Why?
The first Corvette was like the C1 Corvette was actually like a really bad car.
Yeah, the
though.
C1 sucks. Nobody
inline
talks about the
six.
C1. The fact that the C1 made like the Corvette Legacy, what it started out as was terrible. Like it was not a good car. It looked goofy. It had bad performance. They were just kind of terrible cars.
Yeah, I have another topic I think we should talk about.
I still think that the C6 is the
Almost-
best
wait,
looking
I'm
Corvette.
almost- there
Yes,
to prove-
C6 ZR1, best looking Corvette. of all
Stingray.
time.
No, C6 Stingray.
You think
Nice,
Stingray?
nice. Stingray, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, whatever the case, C6 any definitely looks the best. The C7 is probably my second favorite. It's just kind of a little. It just doesn't have like the.
The
I feel like-
C7, I like the C7 front end. The rear end's a
Yeah.
little eh.
So I have my presentation ready.
Oh,
I don't
It's
like.
it's like
I don't
it's
like
like
the
the Bugatti
taillights.
Veyron. It's like the
Okay,
Bugatti
so-
Veyron.
All right, Foxy, I'm watching this online too.
Alrighty, so as you can see, this is a C8. It looks debatable. It doesn't look great, but to me it doesn't look terrible. It just looks decent. But as you can see, it checks most of the supercar boxes for like your average supercar, mid-engine, V8, quad exhaust, rear-wheel drive, dual clutch gearbox, 2 seats.
I don't
It
think
checks those
exhaust
boxes.
is a requirement.
Nor
for
is a
supercar.
mid-engine. There's plenty of like
Yeah,
look at a
but-
Ferrari FF. That's front engine. Still a
F12
supercar.
PDA.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like most
Yeah.
supercars are mid.
I know what you're trying to say.
UFA right here.
And it makes 500 horsepower. So that's, well, it's not exactly supercar numbers, but it's kind of close to supercar numbers.
You look at it's like horsepower wise, that's still more than a Gallardo made.
Yeah,
I
so
believe.
you take
No,
the
Gallardo
C8,
60.
Okay,
Yeah.
similar
At least
enough.
the LP guy.
take-
I don't know what the pre-LP's made.
you take the C8, which is a, we'll say quote unquote supercar.
Mm-hmm.
But then you put it next to something like a Gallardo where it has something about it that makes it feel more like a supercar.
It's
Was that Brad,
exotic.
man?
It's
Yeah,
exotic.
it's exotic. So like for example here,
And it's
Wow.
rare.
this car right here might be in a straight line and possibly even on a track as fast as this Huracan. It's not as exotic as the Huracan, and it's not as expensive as the Huracan. Because you have to remember, a base C8 starts at $69,000.
Nice.
Okay, everybody brings up how base C8s are like the greatest. Let's just remember the fact that this is a base model. Nobody buys a base model anything. Like
Yeah,
nobody. Like you're gonna spend
No,
like
even
10
if
grand on
you-
options at least, unless you
even
literally
if you
just
get-
want nothing.
Okay, so say base C8 70,000. If you just get like the Z51 performance pack and just like a 2LT, it's literally like 80,000. Like my granddad's was a 2LT Z51 performance pack and he bought it for 73,000.
I mean that's not terrible, I guess, but still, it's still that's more than the 69, whatever. I just
69,000.
the C8, it's just not exotic, and it's the normal. The Z06 is exotic. It's just not exotic, and it's not rare, and that's what makes it not a supercar, in my opinion. It's not even the price, because you look like a Gallardo is cheaper than a Huracan. Maybe not when they were new. I don't know what Gallardo prices were even new, but like now, there's cheaper supercars still, but. I mean, like, look at a base R8. Like, the V8 R8 is still a supercar. Those were still a lot cheaper. Like, they were still more than a Corvette, but they were still cheaper on the cheaper end of things. But those are still supercars. I don't think it's price. It's just, and it doesn't even have to be the brand, because Audi is not a particularly exotic brand. But the R8's still a supercar, because it's exotic, it's got good performance, and it's rare.
Exactly.
It's good looking.
Yeah, alright. What topic did you want to bring up, Comet?
I was gonna say, what do you guys think is the first supercar?
Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
Lamborghini Mira, maybe.
I was gonna say I think the Mira, yeah. Everything
I
else
think
before that was kind of
300
sports
SL.
cars. 300 SL is not
think-
really.
The
Yeah,
300
I
SL,
agree
okay.
with that.
If you compare the 300 SL to its competitors, it was so much faster because it was light and it had about 100 to like 80 more horsepower than its competitors, which back then was a lot.
But it's
having
also kind of a
240
touring
horsepower.
car. I don't know. I don't
It's-
know about 300.
Well, it was the fastest car in its day, designed to be raced.
But was it fast enough to qualify as a supercar? Even
Well, you
like
think about it, the Mira's slow now, and so is the 300 SL. But the 300
yeah,
SL was
but back when the
before
Mira was made, there was other people making sports cars too. When the 300 SL was made, there.
Fact checked by Google, Lamborghini Mira is the first supercar.
Oh wow, because we all know Google. I just don't think the 300 SL is the first supercar, and I stand by the Mirror because I feel like the Mirror is when people were trying to create supercars, whereas the 300 SL really wasn't in that period.
The 300 SL, they were trying to make a race car.
Yeah, that's my
Here are
point.
the first. Here are the
That's
first
what most
10.
supercars are now, just trying to make a race car.
No,
Alright,
because
so
you don't see okay, like for example, Lamborghini never like they have race cars, yes, but like Lamborghini's priority with the Huracan isn't to make a race car out of it. It's to make a car for rich people out of it.
Okay, back to the electric topic. Do you think Teslas are a supercar?
No.
No,
They're not exotic. They're
What
not
do you mean?
exotic. They don't look good, and they don't sound good.
They're not exotic and they're not rare. That brings it right back to square one for me, anyways. Absolutely not a supercar.
And
Not
the
even
only
a
fact
plaid.
is-
I've seen multiple different plaids too. Far more than I have even Huracans driving around. You know what I mean?
They're only fast in a straight line. as
That
well.
too.
Yeah.
Anything else they're not very fast at.
All right, what do we think is the most rare supercar?
Most rare supercar? It's gotta be. Are we counting limited editions? Because if it's limited editions, it's just gonna be like some one-off special
Yeah, I was gonna say,
edition.
any
something.
one-off vehicle.
I will tell you, it is a very long car.
What?
Oh, Maserati MC12 something something.
Nah.
That is the
Well,
rarest. That is the
whatever.
rarest supercar.
If you're counting like not special editions, maybe so. Yeah.
It goes MC12, Zonda Revolution, the Veneno, the FXX,
Okay,
the 911
hold on.
GT1,
But
and then the
is
Mercedes-Benz CLK.
is a
GTI.
Zonda a supercar? I've heard people call it both things.
Okay, but
I'd say it's
there's so many cars before the CLK that you can name because there's 26 CLKs. If you put it into perspective, there's like what 7 1-to-1s and all these
Right.
different
Oh, wait,
Koenigseggs.
so
There's
you have to
less than
think about this.
25 of or 26.
This is actually another good topic. Is the Zonda a hypercar or just a really expensive supercar?
And with that, what makes a hypercar a hypercar?
I'd
performance.
say it's a hypercar.
I feel like the Zonda R is definitely a hypercar.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me look it up.
I
So
kind of feel
which
like
version of the Zonda are we gonna like see if it's a hypercar?
let's say
I feel like
base
they're all
Zonda.
hypercars. I feel like they're all
Wait,
hypercars.
which
because
year
if you
of
look at
Zonda?
if you look at Bugattis, the Veyron, the base model Veyron is a hypercar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
a
the base
Zonda
model
is
Veyron
not
is
a
fast.
great performance car. Like the Zonda
Yeah.
R is, but like here's like what I would say is like it's the equivalent sort of to like the Viper of sports / supercars. Like or the Corvette even. I'd consider a Corvette or a Viper normal ones, not supercars. But the ACR and the ZR1 are supercars. I think it's the same thing with the Zonda being a hypercar. A Zonda R to me is a hypercar, but even though it's more of a race car in the first place, it's not really either. But then you look at like a normal Zonda, which is kind of, in my opinion, yeah, at the end of the day, just an overpriced supercar. Like it's a good car, but
I think they're hypercars. I would consider them a hypercar any day.
So here, I'm
Especially
gonna
when you
look
get
up on
into the
Google the
Zonda-
specs of the first
Especially-
Zonda.
Okay, especially when you get into the higher level Zondas, you know.
yeah, higher level
They
Zondas, but
look
not
good.
entry.
Okay,
They have-
so
they have
the
the looks of a hybrid.
1999 Pagani Zonda specs. Okay, so here are the specs of the 1999 Pagani Zonda C12, the first ever Zonda.
Okay,
Let me.
they were made in 1990.
Okay, so its
1999.
Oh, I was
price,
gonna say, holy shit, that's older than I thought.
its price was $280,000. So let's look that up. 280K.
That's gotta be only like 500 or under 500 in today's with inflation.
Okay, so adjusted for inflation, it's 726,000.
Inflation sucks.
That's good for
I mean,
sellers.
is it? I feel like that's still kind of within a supercar price range. Like you look at like an SVJ is a supercar. Used, they're going for like $1 million right now.
Yeah, but those are stupid overpriced.
I know, but even brand new an SVJ costs 700-ish, right? Or
They're
is it
supposed to
500?
cost like they're supposed to
Right, so
cost about 500.
let's keep-
Yeah.
Let's keep going here. So it was $280,000 in 1999, which isn't great necessarily because hold on, $280,000 or no, hold on. What was $280,000 in 1999 equivalent to now?
700,000. You just told us.
Oh no, sorry. So I googled it completely wrong to where it worded it differently. It's 498,000.
I was gonna say I said it should be like 500,000. When you said 790,000, I was like, no, that's not accurate. Okay, 500 grand. That's puts you under base model SVJ, and that puts you at like a little above a really highly optioned STO by like 50 to 100.
This car is
it's
from
like the
1999.
price of an Aventador.
I do not think that would be a hypercar
Okay.
for a base.
With
I
your
just
logic,
don't.
you're comparing a car that's from 1999 to a Lamborghini Aventador
I'm
SVJ.
saying price wise because you all said it's like, oh, it's just a really expensive
I just
supercar.
got an
That's
ad
your
from-
average supercar price today. Obviously back then a
Okay.
supercar would be like an NSX, which was cheaper, or a Ferrari, but it's still not that far
Alright.
out of the range.
I just got an ad for one of those like Penske Ferraris, 450 grand for a brand new F8. So it's like F8 price.
But obviously cars have kind of gotten more expensive as time's gone on.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
still
but, okay.
don't think I stand by it as that a base Zonda is not a supercar. I think, or not a hypercar. I think some of the higher trim specs, like the Zonda R and other ones, are hypercars, but I do
Okay.
not think a base one is.
All
Let
right,
me
so
see.
here, let
Okay,
me-
so this on the Zonda C12, it's got nearly 400 horsepower, which isn't a lot, but for the 90s, that was pretty respectable.
yeah. So okay,
Then
so it
even
has
the
a
Zonda, but then even the Zonda F, which the Zonda F is like the Zonda, because there's the Zonda C12 and there's the Zonda S,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's the Zonda F. So the Zonda F was kind of like the base model for its time, but the Zonda F is making near 600 horsepower, 594 horsepower.
That's closer. I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's for
okay, so-
2005 when you're comparing it to like,
Okay.
the Carrera GT.
Alright, so
that
in
has
Yeah.
similar power.
Yeah, but okay, so you compare it to a Carrera GT. Is a Carrera GT a hypercar?
Yes.
no.
I think
Yeah.
no. I don't
It
really
is.
know if it is.
No, it's just a really limited edition supercar.
I think it's probably one of the best supercars, but I don't think it's hypercar level. I just
it's
don't.
not.
Then, if none
All
of
right,
these are
here's another one.
hypercars,
Is a McLaren
none of
F
us-
is a McLaren F1 a hypercar?
If you
Yes.
say
Yes.
a McLaren F1's a hypercar, but not any of the
I-
2000s hypercars,
I don't think an F1 is a hypercar. I think it's kind of more of a supercar still. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I honestly do.
Let me
Poison's
look
looking
it
at
up,
me like
okay.
I'm gonna kill you. I honestly, genuinely think the first hypercar was the Bugatti Veyron because it was the first car that truly progressed to an insane level. Like, yeah, the F1 is still extremely fast for its time, but I think the Veyron is the first hypercar. I know it's not a
so,
popular opinion. That's just my opinion.
Okay,
So I don't
from
consider a
Googling-
Carrera GT. I wouldn't even really consider any Zonda ever. Maybe a Zonda R. But like the first
Alright,
proper
so-
hypercar, in my opinion, is a Bugatti Veyron. And then your next three would be the Holy Trinity.
Google
Okay,
says
so
it's
here
PS4.
I have the like hypercars here, a list.
Oh yeah, because we all love Google. Yeah, let's see what they got to say though. I'm curious.
Yeah, okay, so here is a list of the where's the okay, here. Oh my bro.
Also, you all should put in chat and Foxy, see if the chat at your stream's saying anything about like their opinions, because it's kind of fun to hear everybody listing what your opinions are on what makes a hypercar, what makes a supercar, etc. Blah.
Okay, who invented the first? Okay, so basically, according to Google, from lists, it's either the McLaren F1 or the Bugatti Veyron.
Yeah,
And here's I found a list of things that's the like top 10 best hypercars, so we can look at that one.
the F1 is an incredible car.
There was only 106 F1s.
The F1
Well, there's,
is
like,
it's got
there's
everything.
61
I just
There's-
don't think
there's,
it's
like-
a hypercar.
There's
yet.
like 60 or so base F1s, and there's like 40 of the race cars and stuff.
Yeah, and then there's the 5
All
LMs.
around
There's 5
GTRs.
LMs. Or is there 6 LMs? No, there's 5, I think. I don't know. 5 or 6. I still just don't think the F1's a hypercar, and I don't really think hypercars were like the term hypercar to me came around when the Bugatti Veyron was created, and it's just the first hypercar. I mean, look,
Yeah, but
it's
the
so
F1 or
fast.
the Veyron isn't much better than the
It's
F1.
not much better, but there's more to it. Like the
Mhm.
F1 is more low tech. The Veyron's got high tech for its time. You know what I mean? The F1 is a really good car. The Veyron is a really modern, for its time, really modern, really advanced car, right? I think that's kind of what makes the difference. Is for a hypercar to be a hypercar, I think it's got to have obviously the performance, but I think it's got to have like more, not even tech, but it's got to be just advanced for what it is. And the F1 was advanced for what it was, but it essentially the F1 was more like what cars were then, with just more power and more. It was just kind of a different design idea. They were trying to make the
Alright.
ultimate supercar, essentially using what supercars did. The Veyron went out of its way to do different things, such as a W16 engine, 4 turbochargers, 9 radiators, or whatever it's got. You know what I mean? It was just a really, really different kind of vehicle than anything else that had ever been made. Whereas in F1, there were cars similar to it at the time.
Yeah, like with the F1, you had like the CLK GTR, the Diablo SV. Those were kind of close to it.
Yeah, those like the Diablo SV, for example, it still had a
911
V12. It was still a
GT1.
manual transmission, and like the F1 is a great car, but it's not, in my opinion, hypercar worthy. Have I changed anybody's opinions yet?
I don't know. Okay, so I have
Actually,
a
Matt, Reagan, you all are allowed to
Mm,
talk.
I feel like it's
I'm just listening.
definitely a very high-end supercar.
You said it was a hypercar, so I'll take that as a win. I've made somebody get on my side at least.
yeah, I don't know, cause like, so the thing is it is a top speed of 241, isn't it?
Yeah, and then a
Yeah,
Veyron
so it
base
is a
is
top
like
speed of
250.
240. Let me look up the specs real quick. F1.
How long have we been streaming for? I wonder. We've been
Alrighty,
up
so
for 42 minutes. Dang, we're doing pretty
here
good.
are the full specs of the McLaren.
I'll look up
F1.
the Bugatti Veyron while you do that.
Okay, so it has the BMW V12, a
Legendary
6.1
engine.
liter V12, 627 brake horsepower, 497 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds, and a top speed of 240 plus miles per hour. Now, would we consider the Pagani Huayra a hypercar?
No. Oh, the Wyra. That's another
Yeah.
one to where I feel like a base. Okay, I would call a Wyra a hypercar, kind of, but you know what? I'm just gonna say it. Normal Wyra, not really. I again think it's kind of just a supercar that's really expensive. Now, a Huayra BC, absolutely. But anyways, let me read off the Veyron specs really quick. So the Veyron has a frick, where is it? Come on now. Okay, an 8-liter quad turbocharged W16, which is a much crazier engine. And it's not even about the crazy engine, but that's kind of what sets it apart from everything else. It makes 987 horsepower, has a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, which is also, much more advanced than the F1's manual. Not saying the F1 manual would suck. I would probably rather have an F1 manual. But, it's got that, and then it's got the top speed of whatever, 250, whatever it was. You know what I mean? It's just a crazier car.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't really consider Huayra to be a supercar either. Or a
Yeah.
hypercar. What do you guys think? Dashy, Reagan, Matt, what are your thoughts on the Huayra?
I feel like it is pushing into the hypercar range for sure.
I think it's pushing, but I don't think it's fully in. And if it is, it's like half in, half out. Dashy and Matt are just listening. Dashy's probably eating food right now, and Matt is probably asleep at his keyboard. Matt, are you
No,
asleep at your
listening.
keyboard?
Right here. I have the. Okay, so I'm pulling up two cars. also from the time of the McLaren F1. So I'm comparing a 1998 McLaren F1 to a 1998 Mercedes CLK GTR and a 1998 Diablo SV.
CLK is more of a race car. That's what I'm gonna say right off the bat.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like the
But
CLK,
so is the F1 at the end of
the
the day.
911 GT1, the F1 were all just race
Race
cars
cars.
turned into road cars second.
Yeah,
Which
and
is
I
why
think
they're
they're,
all awesome.
but they're also all still supercars, and I stand by that. And the F1's the best of the three. Don't at me being mad.
The
It just
CLK is
is.
the best of the three.
Nuh-uh. We're gonna have a debate later after this, and it's gonna be fun. The F1's just the best.
Okay, so I just for the heck of it, I forgot about the whatever it's called, the GT1. So we're also going to compare that too. Okay, so this is all from, I believe this is all from the same website. No, it's not. Let me all get it from the same website. So it's 1998 Diablo SV specs.
Okay, Diablo SV is just not in the range of those cars. Those cars are all legendary, and the Diablo SV, while being a cool car, is just not. It's just not on the level of a F1 or CLK or Porsche 9, whatever it was.
9199 Porsche GT1.
Yeah, Porsche GT1.
Okay, here, let me. Here, this is good. Okay, so here we have the 19. Oh wait, no, this is the F1 LM.
Yeah, the F1 LM is. I mean, that's higher.
I don't know. I don't need an F1 LM. I just need the base F1.
It doesn't. I don't know. I think all three of those are supercars, and I think the Diablo is definitely a supercar. The Wyra is hard to that. What makes a hypercar to all of you guys? Like Matt, Dashy, Yerbo, Foxy, Comet. Like what makes a hypercar to you guys? Because I said what makes it one to me, but what's your opinions?
Okay, so I got
Rarity.
the
Speed and price.
Rarity and at least decent performance. Like the normal
Yeah,
Huawei
rarity too.
has like more supercar-ish performance than hypercar, but it's still rare and it's still got that hypercar feeling to it.
I might have to ask somebody that. All right, Yerbo, your opinion. What makes a hypercar a hypercar?
Okay,
Is he even here?
All right, he's gone.
I have the
Last stream.
All right, Dashy, what makes a hypercar?
I mean, I'd say it has to be like one of a very small percentage of all cars, and it's definitely like a very, very high performance supercar compared to
so
the rest.
Okay.
I have the specs pulled up of all of the cars.
All
Should
right.
we put the Pagani Zonda in here or no?
Nah. Okay, really quick. I'm gonna say while you pull this up, Foxy. Matt, the reason I don't think price should matter as much is because you say price, but like, look at a Veneno. That car is a multi-million-dollar car, or a Sion. Is a Sion a hypercar? No, it's just an Aventador. It's a one-off Aventador. Like that's still a supercar, despite being a $3 million car. That's my opinion.
So so I have the specs here. So first we're gonna compare the horsepower. So the McLaren F1 made 627 brake horsepower. Keep in mind all of these cars are from 1998, so the exact same year. The CLK GTR made 612 brake horsepower. Remember the F1 made 627 brake horsepower. And the 911 GT1 made 550 brake horsepower.
So the F1 made the most out of a lot.
Yes. So
Which
next,
was the lightest?
let's go to the torque. So the F1 makes 497 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPM. The CLK GTR makes. Where is it? Hold on, I'm trying to find the part where they say the thing.
I'd imagine torque-wise they'll all be somewhat similar.
Hold on, I have to look it up.
Okay. I think all those are supercars. I don't think there's a debate between any of those being a hypercar. I don't think any of them are qualified to be hypercars. I mean, I definitely think in order, I would say the F1 out of those is the best, followed by the CLK, and then the GT1's the worst. But and well, the Diablo SV is the worst of those. The Diablo is not. The Diablo shouldn't be compared to to those three. Those
Alright,
three
I
are
got
kind
it.
of untouchable.
I got it. Okay, so keep in mind the F1 makes 479 pound-feet. The CLK GTR makes 568 pound-feet. And then the GT1 makes 464 pound-feet.
Right. So the GT1's like the worst of the lot for everything. That's the thing. Yeah, the CLK is close to F1 in performance, if not like the same overall. If you
So
average
here's
it
the
out.
acceleration. So the McLaren F1 does 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. The CLK GTR does 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds.
I figured that'd be faster because the F1's kind of geared long. Okay.
And then the GT1 does 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds.
Okay. I mean, for acceleration wise to 60, anyways, 0.5 seconds is actually a fair amount. That's
Okay,
a
and then
fair amount.
That's quite a
The
lot.
top speed of a McLaren F1 with what rev limiter removed, which I'm guessing is like a speed limiter.
Yeah.
So the official top speed is 242 miles an hour. The CLK GTR's top speed with the limiter removed is 198.8 miles an
That's
hour.
a big difference.
And then the GT1 is 193 miles an hour. So in that case, the F1 destroys them.
It's impressive. Which is the lightest?
Oh, good question. Let me
Because
look.
that'll kind
Let
of
me,
maybe give you a bit more idea on handling, though. Obviously, a lot also goes into it, like downforce and whatnot. But that's interesting. I didn't know the F1 was that much faster than the others. I figured they were all somewhat close. I know top speed wise, the F1's way faster, but I mean, what was it? 240? I mean, that's a 50-mile-an-hour difference. That's pretty fast. But
all
still,
right, now.
I stand firm. Those aren't hypercars. They just aren't. None of them. Just like I would argue a Lyra isn't really a hypercar. It's kind of in between. It's in the sad land of too slow to be a hypercar, but
Right.
kind of too fast to be a supercar.
Where's the weight?
We need to
of
move
the-
on to this topic because all of our other contestants are really bored.
Yeah, but okay, so essentially the CLK weighs 2,600 pounds. The
Lightish.
McLaren F1 weighs 2,500, and the GT1 weighs 2,700.
So the F1's
So-
also the lightest of them all too.
Yeah, so okay, so then, but the CLK and the GT1 are more focused on it for track, not for top speed. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
but, okay,
that's
so
going off street versions, still, right? Though
Yeah.
you're not going off
the
like the race car.
CLK, the street legal CLK GTR is worth $8.5 million. The street legal 911 GT1 is worth $3.14 million.
'Cause it's
And
the
then the
worst.
street legal F1 is worth $13.75 million.
Some have
So
sold for 20 though, so it's kind of hard.
yeah, some
the
have
F1's
sold
kind of
for
like
over
on. The F1's hard to even value.
Yeah, okay,
Well, they
so then
all
that
are.
basically so basically that means that the F1 destroys every car of its time, just like the Veyron did. It has a top speed of over 240,
But
Which is
and
ridiculous.
it also has pretty good acceleration.
here's why I don't consider it a hypercar, because it's not. It's like we talked about earlier. It's still just a BMW V12 with a more normal It's just your normal 6-speed transfer. Like there's nothing incredibly innovative about the F1 in the sense like not like a Veyron, and that's like what I think makes a Veyron a hypercar, or what makes a Koenigsegg a hypercar as well. Is like you look at all the stuff that goes into making a Koenigsegg. You know, you got like turbos, all the different design work to like get that much power out of a V8, stuff like that. Whereas with the F1, they essentially just use the stereotypical big engine and normal transmission. I don't think it's a hypercar. Let's wrap this topic up and go to a new one that people are more interested in, like Comet and Dashy and Matt.
No, it popped out of the box. I had a Audi. I had a TTRS Matchbox, and it
Rip.
fell while I was looking for my mouse, and it came out of the box.
Rip. All right, Dashy, why don't you choose a topic?
Let's see. Mega car.
Mega car. Okay. Are we gonna really go
Isn't there
there?
only one
Yeah,
mega car?
Let's do it.
I think I'd say the first would have to be the 1-to-1.
But is
No,
there a
isn't-
such thing as a mega car?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Because until you get something that goes like 400 miles an hour or something.
Well, there are.
I mean,
Those are
that's
dragsters.
going.
Well, no, but like a
Aside from-
stock car, like a production car that goes 400 miles an hour, I wouldn't consider anything a mega car, even though
Why do
I don't
we
think
need
it
a
has to
car
be-
that goes 400 miles
I don't
an
think it
hour
has to go
anyway?
400.
Even pushing 300 is extremely difficult to pull off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need cars that go faster than like 220,
I
honestly.
mean, we know you don't need anything that goes over 80 technically, because you can't drive over 80 like anywhere but Texas. Like, what's their speed limit? The highest speed limit in the country is like 85. So you figure you do 5 over.
Still,
If your car can do 90 miles an hour, that's all it needs to be capable of doing.
but still, like on a track, you can at least use like go near top speed on some tracks if you can hit.
You need a
220 miles an
long
hour.
straight on a track to go 220.
Well, yeah, I
It goes
know,
200.
but still, I'm just saying you can go faster than 90 on a
Yeah,
racetrack.
But no,
That's
yeah,
just
like
my point.
a Chiron, like you couldn't even go like you couldn't even use really a normal Chiron top speed anywhere. I think mega cars will come out eventually. I do not think they need to go 400 miles an hour, but I also don't think yet there's been a big enough jump to warrant naming something a mega car.
yeah, because
I
a
mean,
bunch of
you've got-
people argue that the 1-to-1 is a mega car, but I don't think it is, because if the 1-to-1 is considered by some people a mega car, then that means that the Agera RS, the Chiron 300 Plus, and the Venom F5 and the Venom GT would be considered mega cars.
The Venom GT is not a mega car. The Venom GT is a kit car. It's not even a car.
It's a highly modified Lotus.
Then
yeah,
then you
that's
have-
literally all it is.
Then you have the Venom
yes.
F5.
The F5, the F5, the Chiron 300, Chiron Supersport, whatever you want to call it, the 1-to-1 and the Agera RS, and then maybe the Jesco Absolute and the Jesco Attack could all be mega cars, so to speak, if you considered a 1-to-1 a mega car. But I don't see how it's a mega car, because I don't think they're worthy of that title
Okay,
yet.
the thing is that title just sounds stupid, so we shouldn't use it. We should just use hypercar for everything.
I mean, it's like, what would make a mega car? Even like what? Let's just use the
Nothing,
title mega
nothing.
car. Like what?
Use
Dashy,
hypercar.
Dashy. Since you think it's a mega car, explain to me what you think makes a mega car? Because obviously it's not a hypercar apparently to you. So what?
If you look at hypercars for a mega car, I'd say it has to be like something ridiculously more performance than the rest.
I would agree, and I don't think a 1-to-1 or even a Chiron Supersport shows that. Like, sure, a 1-to-1's a good car, but it's not even, it's slower than a Agera RS. You know what I mean? Like, it's not better than an RS in a straight line, at least, and an RS around a track is still pretty quick. And then you look at a Chiron Supersport, which, yeah, is faster top speed than the normal. What does a normal Chiron even do? Isn't it like near 270 or something?
261.
261? Okay, 260. So what? It's 40 miles an hour faster or whatever. Hasn't even fully been tested. But like, I still don't think that's mega car range.
No, for it to be a mega car, it's got to do like 350 and have like 2,500 horsepower or something dumb.
Oh
like
great,
that.
the Devil
Okay, but we
16,
don't-
guys, the Devil 16 is gonna be the first mega
Nah.
car. Let's go.
No,
Evil.
we don't need cars that fast.
I mean,
Well,
Koenigsegg already said they're not focusing on anything for top speed after the Jesco Absolute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is what they should
Yeah,
do.
because they
Yeah.
realized there's no
focus.
point. Because like
Yeah, just focusing
When-
on top speed isn't really important.
Cause like it's nice to be able to know that your car can go like 250 or something, but in reality, there's no part of a highway that doesn't have cops that has safe enough or like sturdy enough roads to be able to go that speed.
The
without
only
pretty much
car
killing yourself.
that can go like 250 is like, for example, like a 3,000 horsepower Calva Viper is the only car you could ever get up to like 250 on a public road. And yeah, that's just because it's got so much power, it'll get there really quickly, and then you can get back down. But like even a Koenigsegg, like you saw the top speed run to get to 270 miles an hour in the RS took a long time. Like they had to have a super long highway. There's no chance, yeah, you could go down that without running into traffic up ahead of you or anything like that. Or
Yeah,
even the
'cause didn't
Chiron
they
on the
close-
Autobahn that did like 350. It still took them a long time. They had to do, or 350, 250. It took them a long time.
Yeah.
They still had to do many runs, stuff like that.
And they go like 230 or something.
Yeah, I don't even know if they got to 250.
No, I think they went. It was like 233 or something, and they got fined for speeding. That was literally the funniest part.
He almost went to jail for 4 years.
Yeah, even though
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
literally the Autobahn with no speed limit.
Okay, yeah, but
Well,
that's
okay,
the thing about the
it
Autobahn.
has-
Reckless driving can
It
still
has
get
yeah, it
you.
has no speed limit, but that doesn't give you the power to just drive recklessly.
Yeah, which honestly,
That's
one
how
could
they were
argue.
doing.
One could argue if you're going 230 in your Bugatti on a public road, it's probably not safe. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, they
230
said they had spotters and stuff, but that still doesn't mean there's always room for random chance to happen. You know what I mean? Like, there's
Yeah.
something really simple could happen. Like, for example, what if, say, and this is like really hypothetical, like a squirrel ran in front of that car, or a
Someone
deer. Let's say a
got in the
deer.
lane- Someone
A
got in the
deer-
lane next to you, or the
a-
lane you're in.
Yeah, a deer runs in front of you and then it like knocks the car out of balance. You spin out and you go over onto the other side of the highway into incoming traffic and kill somebody, right? Like, are the chances of that high at all? Absolutely not. But could something like that happen? Yeah. Who left?
Got disconnected for
Fox
being
is
idle for
disconnected.
20 minutes.
Being idle.
I forgot to
Yeah.
jump. Thanks for reminding me. So, you know, Reagan and Bush is gonna disconnect. Yerbo always goes AFK.
Yeah.
No,
I think he
jumped.
just doesn't want to be here.
He doesn't have to be here if he doesn't want to be here. He's not forced to stay.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of just leave whenever
He
you
just
want.
deafens every time.
Well, last time he said he had to do something. He just has to do stuff, I guess. Or he's just a liar. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like Mega Car. Alright, should we go for one more subject then end off the stream? Because we're getting at 1 hour, 2 minutes. You guys want to try and go for one more topic? Or what do you want to do?
I guess. Oh, I joined a random public server.
Alright, who has it? Matt, why don't you bring up a topic since you're the only one who hasn't brought a topic up yet. So let's hear your topic you want to bring to this lovely conversation.
I don't really have a topic.
Well, it doesn't even have to be car related. It could literally just be
say
how furry
something.
porn has changed your life. Just do something.
And we're demonetized.
that's it
I
for the
wish-
monetization.
I wish Darth was here for that. He would have some things to say.
For real.
Thank God Darth's gone.
You know what's funny? The last one wasn't demonetized. I didn't bother monetizing it because I don't monetize streams, but it wasn't demonetized.
No, we're good.
Nice.
Yeah, we're good. Matt, do you really not have a topic?
We'll just,
Yeah.
Alright, anybody have a fun topic to throw out?
All right,
We can end on?
controversial topic. The
I kind of have
fabled,
a fun one.
infamous Tuatra.
The Tuatara? Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Alright.
It took me a minute to realize what car you were saying. The Tuatra? I was like, what's that?
The Tuatra.
Tuatara.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Who wants to start off? Oh, you know, Dashi, your topic, you start off. What are your thoughts? What do you have to say on it?
I like it. Apparently, Darth hates it to the bone. Apparently. Let's see. I don't know. Its performance, I'd say, is from what's been shown is ridiculous.
Yeah, because like they faked the first run, but it's hit on what 295,
Yeah.
I think they.
and in the clip it
they
was still
just-
pushing once it hit
Yeah,
295.
they
If they had a
reran it.
longer road, they could have hit it easily.
They could hit 300, yeah.
Yeah,
Here's
they
What
already
they
ran
should
it,
do
and it
is
was
the runway
still-
or the thing that Koenigsegg used, that really long highway.
in Nevada. Yeah,
Yeah, they should just use that.
they did. Isn't that
Oh.
where they faked it? I want to say that, yeah, that's the road they faked. That's how they caught it, is because it was going slower than the Agera RS and they mashed up. Here's my opinion. The
What are we talking
Tuataras.
about? The Tuatara?
Yeah, the Tuataras. Oh, is that you back, Yerbo?
Yeah.
We talked about mega cars and okay, yeah, we're gonna end it off after this Tuatara topic. You didn't really miss much. Here's my opinion on the Tuatara. Its reputation's been ruined forever because instead of being like, okay, the car's not ready or oh, this run didn't work, they instead faked their run to make it look good. And I think that's
Yeah.
forever killed the car because it's especially sad seeing as the car was legitimately capable of 300 miles an hour. So they should have just said, you know what, today wasn't the day, something happened. They could have even made up a lie about something in the car not holding up, right? And that would have been far better than just going ahead and completely faking the run.
Okay.
That completely
didn't-
killed it.
But didn't like all of their Tuataras, or it wasn't like two of them, but didn't they burn down?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
they
They
had a-
crashed in a transport truck.
yeah,
Yeah.
they had a Tuatara transported in.
Wait,
a
here's the thing
tourist
though. Didn't
trailer,
they
and-
not fake the run? Wasn't the GPS just like really off and they didn't realize it?
That's what
Yeah,
they
it was.
said. But, like, at the same time, they all watched it, and they should have all been able to tell it wasn't going. Like, they all say that, but it's kind of apparent. For one, whenever you're doing those, you run multiple GPS units. It's required for world record books and stuff. But it should have been obvious. Somebody should have at least looked over the video and been like, yeah, okay, something's not lined up right. Because also, the car has a speedometer, does it not? Like, that's going to be accurate to some extent. If your GPS says you're going 300 and whatever it hit, but your speedometer says you're going 250, you figure the speedometer is slightly off, but clearly something's not right there. So that's why I genuinely think it was, they knew, at least they knew they were uploading it. They knew what they were uploading, is what I'm trying to say. Like, they knew what they were uploading. They were trying to make it look like it could go 300. That's my thoughts.
Yeah. It's still an impressive car, just its reputation is far gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
that incident definitely put a big blow in the reputation.
How could it not? They literally faked a car completely for top speed, trying to make it look amazing. Alright, you know, while we're on that topic, I do want to say Venom F5 or Tuatara, which seems more promising?
I hate this question.
Venom F5.
I don't know, 5.
I think the F5 too.
Because
I think-
Hennessy's
Well,
never
what-
faked a run.
I
SSD
think
has.
after the Venom GT, I trust Hennessy to make a fast car.
Yeah, but you have the Ultimate Arrow from SSC, which is actually also a good car.
The Ultimate Arrow is the most underrated hypercar.
Yeah, I
Wait,
would
are we
agree.
talking about which one's faster?
We're talking about which looks more promising, but you could also argue that the Ultimate Arrow is much more of a car than a Venom GT, because at the end of the day, the Venom GT is literally registered as a Lotus Elise. Like, it's a complete kit car. It's not even a Venom GT. It's just an extended Elise with a different engine.
It's an extended Elise with the LS motor.
Yeah. It's like,
And really cool.
Not just any LS, though.
not any
Not the
LS.
LS3.
And it's a cool car, but is it... Okay, while we're on this topic of these, is the Venom GT a hypercar?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so I agree there. Is the Ultimate Arrow hypercar? I would say yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and
The
then
Ultimate Arrow goes faster than
Okay,
a
so
Bugatti Veyron.
at least
so
we'll
yeah,
agree with
it's a
that.
good
I was curious there. The Venom F5 and the Venom F5 versus the Tuatara. I think the Venom F5's better. I just think it's gonna be a better car in general.
I
feel
mean,
like
it
the
also.
F5
I don't know if it looks better.
I think
but-
it kind of looks better.
The
Okay,
Venom-
well I like the
looks
one with the
really
wing.
good.
The F5 and the Tuatara look like decently similar.
Do
Somewhat.
they though?
No, but the F5 looks better, I think.
I mean, I
The
saw a
F5
Venom
the
F5 in real life and I thought it looked pretty sick. And it
I
sounded
like the
really good.
Tuatara better.
Oh, yeah.
Did you
I
see the
forgot,
one
yeah.
at Barrett Jackson?
No, I saw it at the
No,
Fountain Hill
I
show.
saw
That
that,
you
yeah.
remember the Fountain Hill show where you missed seeing the F1?
Yeah,
You-
I
how
don't
did
know
you
how, I
miss
don't know
a
how I
whole
missed
Yeah,
that, but
yeah.
I did.
You missed a whole stand of hyper.
Yeah, somehow you missed a McLaren F1, a 177, a Celine S7, a Venom F5, and What
A
else?
Veyron.
A
I mean,
Veyron.
whatever that
But
was
you
the
have to
funniest
start
thing,
with
though.
Peugeot.
The
Yeah.
funniest thing was I literally just ended up seeing those cars at Cars and Coffee and just on
there
the
was an
road
Elva.
anyway.
There was an Elva as well.
Your voice.
Yeah, I
Just
saw
Elva with
the
the windshield.
On
the
that
only one I
show?
didn't
Yeah.
see was the
Foxy,
Elvia,
really
and-
quick. Foxy, Poison's checking streams. Next time, apparently the Nitro7 streams really loud. Try and equalize our voices. I forgot to tell you to do that. Like, I had to do that with this one.
I have no idea how to do that.
Just
so-
adjust levels, like audio
Dude,
levels
my
to
guy's
Discord.
stuck with the steering position. Look at this.
Alright, anyways, what was... I had one more thing to say, dang it. What was a hypercar or not, but I kind of forgot it. So, whatever. Is that all we have to wrap this up, then? For the stream?
suppose.
Anybody else have anything they want to bring forward?
My guy can't get into cars. Help.
Is that it?
think so.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Alright, everybody subscribe to the channel. Links in description. Or if you're watching
I can't
Foxy
even-
stream.
I can't even
so,
reset.
yeah, I think that's it. We're gonna have
There we
another one of these next week. Also, we're gonna do some content on that channel, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, thanks for watching. You guys can all say your goodbyes. That's goodbye from me.
Yep, thank you guys for watching. I'd like to thank
Yeah.
my fellow Nitronians.
Shut up! We weren't gonna. We were doing so well until you had to say that.
Thank you, my Nitronian.
My fellow Nitronians.
Alright, is that it? Yerbo, you
Yes.
look really happy over here.
Am I?
Just sitting behind a car.
What do you mean? Oh no, I think it's
He just
something,
disconnected.
He died.
something just timed out.
He died. Alright. Well, on that terrible disappointment, it's time to end the podcast. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the